I hit the big 3-0 last week and decided to throw myself a birthday party. You know how many people actually showed up? Not a single soul. Nobody even bothered to text, "Sorry, can't make it." Just radio silence. 7 days later, my phone buzzes. It's my mom. "Hey, your dad's 50th is coming up. It's $2,000 a person. Venmo me." No, "Happy belated birthday." No, "We missed you." Nothing. So I Venmo'd her exactly $1 with the note. "Congrats." Sat back in my chair, still picking cake crumbs off the cushion, waiting for even a half-hearted emoji. Nothing. But somehow, they really expected me to cough up $2,000 for Dad's fancy bash at some overpriced vineyard in Napa. I laughed. Sharp, bitter, hollow. The sound bounced off the walls of my quiet little apartment in Seattle. That's when it hit me. I was done. For my birthday, I'd gone all out. I booked a cozy gastropub in Capitol Hill, the kind with exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs glowing warm above, and a playlist full of moody indie folk. I ordered a 3-tier vanilla cake with 30 written in gold icing, tapped a keg of local stout, and sent invites to my family and a few old college friends from my UW days. I wasn't asking for much. Just my mom, dad, my sisters Clara and Raphael, maybe a couple of old buddies who still remembered me. At 6 o'clock, I kept checking my phone. Nothing. By 7, still nothing. By 8, the bartender, a sharp-eyed woman with a nose ring named Ivy, gave me that look, the one that said she knew exactly what was happening, then quietly went back to polishing glasses. By 9, reality slammed into me like a freight train. No one was coming. I sliced into the cake myself, the knife scraping in the quiet room, and ate a piece alone at the bar. The sweetness of the frosting just made the rejection sting worse. I caught a few pitying glances from strangers, which somehow felt even heavier than the silence. By 10, they didn't even notice me anymore. A week later, I was stuck on a Teams call when my phone lit up with a group text from Mom. "Hey fam, Dad's 50th is next month at Silver Oak Vineyard." Sent mine. Mom followed up, "So pumped." Then Raphael chimed in, "Same. Going to be a blast for Dad." I sat there staring at the screen, waiting for someone to catch the irony. But the chat went dead. My hands hovered over the keyboard, twitching. The next morning, I called a locksmith. When those new deadbolts clicked into place, it felt less like home security and more like making a vow. 2 days later, my banking app pinged. Unauthorized attempt on my joint account. I snorted. Of course, it had to be Clara, dipping her hand where it didn't belong. I'd stupidly left that joint account open from back when we used to be close, sharing everything like naive siblings. I logged in, shut it down, and moved every cent to a new account. Not long after, my phone lit up with a call from an unknown number. Raphael, no doubt, hiding behind a burner. Straight to voicemail. Another alert buzzed. Password reset attempt on my savings account. They weren't letting up. That night, I was halfway through a true crime doc when a loud knock rattled my door. I checked the peephole, 2 cops. My stomach dropped, but I opened up. "Can I help you?" I asked. The taller one, hawk and all business, spoke first. "We got a report of a missing person. Are you Adrian Wolf?" I blinked. "Yeah." My voice came out flat, cold. "Guess someone's mad I blocked them after they tried to hack my bank account." The officers exchanged a look. The woman cocked an eyebrow. "Care to explain?" I leaned against the doorframe, crossing my arms. They've treated me like their personal ATM for years. I finally cut them off, and now they're pulling stunts. "I'm fine. I'm just done." Hawk gave me a slow nod. "You want to call them? Clear this up?" "Nope," I said, steady as stone. "If they keep pushing, I'll get a restraining order." They didn't argue. The woman gave me a faint, tired smile. "All right, Mr. Klein. If it escalates, give us a call." As she turned to leave, she added, almost as a warning, "Families can get messy when the money gets cut off. Watch your back." Her words stuck with me long after I locked the door. Watch my back. For what? More sob stories? More hacking? I slumped onto the couch, staring at the dark TV screen, the weight of it all pressing down. This wasn't over. Not even close. The very next morning, my phone buzzed again. Unknown number, ignored. Mom, declined. Dad, declined. Then a text from Clara. "How could you do this to us?" Dad's devastated. I tossed the phone aside, pulse pounding. Devastated? They didn't even blink when they skipped my birthday. But now Dad's crushed because I won't bankroll his vineyard party? Yeah, I was done playing their game. Then came the pounding on the door. I peeked through the peephole, Mom. Her face was twisted with fury, silver hair yanked back into a tight ponytail. I cracked the door. Go home. Hiding now, Soren? She sneered, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Your father's falling apart, and you're playing games. I'm clearer than ever, I said, gripping the edge of the door. I'm done being your cash machine. Cash machine? She spat, her voice raw. You mean the guilt trips? The endless demands? Or how I covered your mortgage? Clara's car? Raphael's grad school? And you never once said thank you? Watch your mouth, she snapped, nails clawing into the frame. You're not too old for me to. To what? Manipulate me? Not anymore. A truck pulled into the driveway, Dad's beat-up old F-150. He climbed out, his shoulders hunched, his face carved with that same disappointed expression he'd perfected years ago. Soren, what the hell is this? His voice was low, dripping with fake concern. I'm protecting myself, I said flatly. You made it clear I'm nothing but a wallet to you. Making this about money? He roared, mask slipping. Family's about sacrifice, about loyalty. No, family's about respect. I shot back. And you've never given me any. Mom scoffed. Respect? We raised you, fed you, clothed you, paid for your degree. And I paid for your house, your vacations, Clara's wedding, Raphael's tuition. I cut her off. I'm finished. Another car screeched up. Clara stormed out, cheeks flushed red. Happy now? She screamed. Mom's in tears. Dad's wrecked. Save the act, I said coolly. Let him sit with it. Mom spun on me, her voice venom. You'll regret this, Soren. You'll come crawling back for forgiveness. Don't count on it, I said, slamming the door in her face. The next day, another bank alert flashed. Unauthorized login attempt. My heart kicked hard in my chest. They were still trying. I opened the app, locked down two-factor authentication, changed every password, and called the bank directly. This is Adrian Wolf. Put a block on any joint accounts tied to my family's names. That'll cut off their access completely, the rep warned. Exactly what I want. Then I called the mortgage company. Years ago, I'd co-signed my parents' house in Tacoma. A favor they'd begged for, swearing they'd handle payments. Your family just tried to refinance without your permission, the rep told me. I stopped it, but they might try again. My jaw clenched. Of course they did. Always looking for ways to bleed me dry behind my back. I dialed Tessa. I want to sell my share of the house. Immediately. That'll force them to buy you out or put it on the market, she explained. Perfect. Within hours, she sent the paperwork. The message couldn't have been clearer. Pay me what I'm owed, or lose the house. Not long after, my phone buzzed with a text from Clara. You're destroying us. Mom's sobbing. Dad's a mess. Hope you're proud. I fired back one text. I'm just taking back what's mine. That's when the chaos really kicked into gear. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with messages, one after another. I decided right then I wanted a full breakdown of every dime I'd shelled out for my family over the last 6 years. Mortgage payments, loan payoffs, credit card bills, Clara's big wedding, Raphael's tuition. I wanted every single expense lined up with dates and amounts plain as day. So I dug in. I combed through old bank statements, scrolled back through emails and texts. Every so-called emergency, every just this once promise. They thought I'd cave under the pressure, but really, I was building my own fortress. Then came another knock, harder this time, rattling the frame. I checked the peephole. Dad and Clara stood there, faces twisted with rage. Open the door, Soren. Dad's voice bellowed through the wood. Get out. I shot back. We need to talk. Clara screamed. You can't do this to us. I already have, I said. You think you can destroy us? Dad barked. You're not that clever. Smarter than you gave me credit for, I replied. Leave now or I'm calling the cops. Then silence. They finally realized they had no idea who they were up against. The escalation came faster than I'd expected. The very next evening, an email landed in my inbox from my boss. Soren, HR received an anonymous tip about financial irregularities linked to your name. We need to meet tomorrow. My blood went ice cold. I hadn't done a damn thing wrong. But the timing told me everything. This was no accident. I dialed Tessa right away. They're trying to tank my job now. Sounds exactly like them, she said flatly. Forward me the email. I'll draft a response and start digging. By the next morning, Tessa had tracked the so-called anonymous tip to an IP address belonging to Raphael's apartment. He tried hiding behind a VPN, but it was a cheap one. I walked into HR armed with Tessa's letter, bank records in hand, laying out the family dispute. HR backed off fast, but the sting was deeper than ever. They weren't just after my money anymore. They wanted my entire life in ruins. That night, I came home to something worse. My front door was ajar. My heart hammered as I stepped inside. Nothing was missing, but my desk was a mess, papers scattered everywhere. My old bank statements, loan agreements, every piece of evidence I'd been collecting. Someone had been inside. I called the cops again. They dusted for prints but came up empty. Could be a family member with a key, the officer said. You sure you changed all your locks? I nodded, but doubt gnawed at me all the same. The very next day, I installed a security camera. 2 days later, a package showed up at my door. No return address. Inside was a photo of me at the gastropub alone, cutting into my birthday cake. And a note, scribbled in Clara's handwriting. You think you're free? We're still family. My stomach twisted. They were watching me. I filed for a restraining order, barring Dad, Clara, and Raphael from coming near me or contacting me in any way. Still, the burner numbers kept popping up. Texts like, "You'll regret this. Family doesn't end." I blocked each one, but the unease lingered, growing heavier every day. Weeks passed before Tessa called with an update. They finally listed the house, she said. But the market's awful. The sale won't cover the mortgage, let alone your share. They've already sold the F-150, your mom's Subaru, even Clara's Audi, the one you co-signed. Still not enough. When the audit came back, the numbers were brutal. 6 years of expenses spelled out in black and white. Mortgage payments, $95,000. Dad's truck loan, $22,000. Clara's wedding, $30,000. Raphael's tuition, $45,000. Miscellaneous family support, $65,000. Grand total, $257,000. Over $250,000, drained straight from my savings into their endless demands. You stopped being family the second you treated me like a bank, I told them. And where do you expect us to get this money? They shot back. Sell the house. Sell the cars. Figure it out. You're killing us. No, I said. You killed yourselves when you decided I was nothing but a paycheck. Clara fired off another text. You're heartless. Mom's crying. Dad's falling apart. Happy now? Pay up. I replied with silence. Then Mom called, her voice trembling. Soren, please. We can't come up with $257,000. We don't have it. Then sell everything, I said evenly. Or get jobs. We raised you, she sobbed. We gave you everything. No, I said, steady as stone. I paid for everything. Now it's your turn. The house eventually sold at a loss. The cars were gone. They pawned Mom's jewelry, begged cousins for loans, spun a sob story about me betraying them. It still wasn't enough. Dad called one final time, his voice hoarse, stripped of its usual bluster. We sold everything, Soren. The house, the cars, your mom's earrings. We're still short. Then keep selling, I said coldly. I want every cent. You're killing us, he rasped. A wave of triumph surged through me, but it was hollow, laced with something I couldn't name. I'd won. But at what cost? Clara texted me again. You destroyed everything. Mom's broken. Dad's shattered. We're nothing now. Satisfied? Yes, I typed back, and then I blocked her. Mom tried one last time. You can't just abandon family, Soren. Family isn't about money. It was for you, I wrote back. Not anymore. I left the group chat, blocked every number, and finally silence. Real silence. Months passed. I threw myself into work, landed a raise, even started running again. Reconnected with old friends, the ones who hadn't disappeared when things got rough. Life felt lighter, like I'd finally dropped a weight I'd been carrying for years without realizing it. One evening, my coworker Miles dragged me to a karaoke bar in Fremont. I hadn't held a mic in forever, but the dim lights and cheesy 80s tracks felt right. Soren, you're up? Miles grinned, shoving a mic into my hands. I picked a Springsteen song, belted it out, and for the first time in a long while, I felt alive. The crowd cheered, and I laughed, really laughed. Then my eyes landed across the room. Dad, sitting alone with a beer watching me. His face flickered. Shock, guilt, and something softer. Regret. He hesitated, then stood, heavy steps carrying him my way. Soren, he said quietly. Didn't think I'd see you here. Didn't think you'd want to, I replied. He glanced at the empty stool beside him. Sing one with me. I could have walked away. Should have. But I nodded. We sang together, the words filling the room, though we barely looked at each other. My voice was steady, his cracked. Every note felt like a wall between us. Afterward, he muttered, "It's all gone. The house, the cars. Your mom's with Clara now. We've lost it all." "I know," I said. "I thought we'd be fine," he whispered. "Thought you'd always be there. Because you used me?" I said, my voice hard. He nodded, eyes on the floor. "I did. And I'm sorry. I failed you. Failed us all." I let out a sharp laugh. "You think sorry fixes this?" "No," he admitted. "But I need you to know. I was jealous. My son outshining me. I tried to take everything you had." The anger I'd carried for years flared, then slowly dimmed as I looked at him. Not the towering figure I'd grown up fearing, but just a tired, broken man. "Why now?" I asked quietly. "I know," he whispered, holding out a shaky hand. I hesitated. Then I shook it. His grip was weak, but it was real. I turned and walked out of that bar, the neon glow fading behind me. Outside, the Seattle night air was cool, the city humming with life. I drew in a deep breath, and for the first time in years, the weight finally lifted. For once, I wasn't angry. I wasn't bitter. I was free.